Sir, write it up, and we'll post it. Get the video clip or links to it or screenshots, and we'll link to it. Or somebody, I don't have that many writers, but if somebody will put it together, send it to show tips or writers at Infowars.com, we'll get that up. Anything else, Mordecai?
Well, Alex,
stay there.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator that produces pure drinking water right from the humidity in the air. No, this isn't science fiction. It's very real. I know because I use one every day in my own home, and it's available right now to you. Because you know exactly where your water comes from with Ecola Blue, you'll know what's in your cup. Clean, great-tasting water without all the pollutants. Get your family off the grid today by ordering your own Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator for your home or business. Their best seller, the Ecola Blue 28, produces up to 7 gallons of water every day. The Ecola Blue 28 is easy to use and economical. Generate your own pure water from the humidity in the air. This system is free of chemicals and uses a multi-stage filtration system, including reverse osmosis, carbon filters, and ultraviolet lights. Order now and claim your water independence today by calling Ecola Blue at 1-800-691-6043. That's 1-800-691-6043. Or visit Ecola Blue on the web at www.ecoloblu.com today. The illusion created by the power elite is a lie that covers even the food they want you to eat. Will you continue to be their profit center, buying their processed food that makes you sick? Go to the doctor and buy their drugs? You don't have to cooperate. There is a solution. Inner Health Botanicals, a company that my wife and I just love, have been providing products for the last 5 years that give you the perfect solution to this madness. Try their Inner Food with 20 organic ingredients, full of dense nutrition that gives you the energy you need and will keep you well. It even won the award for Best Superfood of 2009 from our friend Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. I love their NutriCafe, great organic coffee infused with herbal extracts to boost your immune system. Try all of their truly honest products that will keep you alive and healthy. Go to ENERFOOD.com or give them a call right now, 866-762-9238. Click on their banner at Infowars.com to see all the available discounts. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with...
Okay, quickly, Mordecai and Israel, finish up your point. I'm going to go to a few more calls and get into some financial news. I asked if you had anything else to add. Go ahead.
Yes, just very, very quickly. I've been hesitating to say this on your show for a long time because I do the same kind of work that you do here in Israel. For more than 12 years I've been doing this. When I heard a guy call earlier and say that your show was entertaining, despite the fact that they've destroyed my family and it's a whole different thing that you have no time for on the show right now, but I had to call and say this when I heard somebody say that he treats your show as entertainment when it's so dead serious and everybody in the world is suffering from what they're doing. The closer that somebody approaches the truth, the more danger there is for the person to be called a provocateur, because there are certain things that if I were to say here in Israel about Israel, I would be promptly arrested. And if you would say it in America about America, you would also get a visit, and you said you've gotten death threats and things like that. But eventually, and this is a question really rather than a comment or a statement, because I don't, people talk about their arms being taken away and the danger of their taking away our guns. But at one point, somebody's going to have to address the issue of who gets to give the orders to fire and when and under what circumstances, and when is that going to happen? Who are going to be the people? Because it's not enough and it's not sufficient just to own the guns. And just waving the guns and just owning them, at one point someone's going to have to use them, and somebody's going to have to determine who are the commanders, who are the people who are... I mean, you get my point, right?
Mordecai, I do get your point, and I appreciate your call. Answering that question, thousands of pieces of data, common sense, history come into play. The military and the police are starting to wake up. The governments of the world have done everything they can to brainwash them and turn them against the people and the people against the police and military. The last thing we need is offensive attacks on the criminal government. They have to stage events against themselves as a pretext to build up a police state, knowing that people will be forced to resist them, so they can then call that terrorism. And it is really up to listeners to decide, are they going to let their kids be taken away to jail for no reason? If there's a mass plague released, a bioweapon released, Obama's saying, get the U.S. ready for bio attack. They could use that as a pretext to bring in control. Financial collapse, all of this. For me, it's defensive, because you're not going to take the government back when it's illegitimate, built into redoubts and underground bases and facilities by going around and having war with a bunch of their minions. You need to reach out now and educate people in the system how they've been controlled and show them the bigger picture. And I don't just say that because I'm afraid of getting arrested, as you alluded to. If I got up on air and did call for violent confrontation, what are the targets? I mean, if the police started running around arresting citizens with no evidence, which they're starting to do slowly, but in mass, and taking them to a FEMA center, I'm already getting here to the point of saying I'm going to have to go into airports when they try to body scan me and say no. And Lord knows what they'll charge me with then. But it's getting to the point where you have to say no. And then what do you do? I genuinely know that we have to identify the criminal element first to slow them down so we can stop their agenda politically. And see, by them forcing much of their agenda, even when we politically beat it, or no matter who gets into political office, the system just goes forward, that's waking people up now. The globalists want insurrection. They don't care if your average police officer gets killed or somebody in the military. They want that. They want to get us fighting with each other. So I am not for a violent confrontation with the government. That said, I'm not going to be drug away to some FEMA center for my political speech, and nobody's putting their hands on my children. And the system has been running into people defensively defending themselves, and the system's starting to get the message and backing off on many fronts. And that's a sad thing that people in the system are... a lot of CPS workers are getting killed now. You notice they don't hype that up in the media. It's just a little blurb. But every few days I see where CPS get filled full of holes by people that don't want to give their children over to them. But that is making them, in many respects, start following the Constitution, Due Process, Bill of Rights. The system, though, then uses that to further militarize police. So it's a very heavy, heavy issue you raise. And I've thought about trying to do a several-hour special on it. And I've done the research, but to recompile the research, because I get a piece here, a piece there of my research, and to try to lay out, I guess you're saying, the rules of engagement. And the Pentagon itself says 90% of war is psychological. We have the truth, they have the lies. And so we better work for peace and work for waking the system up and work for getting our counties and states and cities back as we're doing here in the United States, and exhaust all of those avenues.